welcome to my Scrappin' Space. I'm Joni Martin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator located in Southwest Wisconsin, and I'm here to share with you one of the suites in the January to April mini catalog. This is going to blow your mind. There's so much product in this suite. I can't wait to share it with you. Let's get my face out of the way and let's talk about it. So, if you're following along in the catalog, we're in the mini catalog, and I am on pages 24 to 27. One of the things I love about this catalog, in addition to all the great stuff in it, is they've taken the time to give some tips about using the suites. So first of all, this is what I call a double suite. There's two stamp sets, and you can see them on page 24. And I thought I was so ready, and it doesn't look like oh yeah, I do. So there's that one. And there's this one. So this has, it's called Storybook Friends, and lots of little creatures, let's say, that you can stamp and die cut out. What I like are the sentiments. Somebody loves you, Easter greetings, welcome little one, happy spring, thank you so very much, and hello friend. Great sentiments. Now this one reminds me of my mom and my dad. They loved being out to work out in the yard. My dad was growing the vegetables and my mother was growing the flowers, and they didn't get in each other's way. They each had their own area, but they just loved working in the soil. And I could have used this to make lots of cards for them. And there are die cut pieces for all of this, and I'm going to show you that in a second. So Amy made us this amazing board. And as you can see, I'm going to bring up a couple closer so you can see her good coloring and die cutting. She stamped them and then she colored them. And you can also, if you're someone like me, you can die cut them. So you could stamp and color a watering can, or you could just die cut it. Guess which one I'll be doing? Here's one of the things I love about the die cuts. So you can cut the soil, and there's places for you to stick the vegetables to come in and out of the soil. Like seriously, how cute is that? And then the Storybook Friends, the die set, also includes all these great frames. There's two paper packs in this set. I'm going to do something with this paper pack. This I'm saving for later. But seriously, plaids just always get my attention, and there's a great color here. There's baby ones and masculine ones and spring ones. And then this are relatively small prints, which I like, and they're all kind of on that storybook theme. But there's more to it than that. Let me see if I can carefully bring this out without knocking everything out for you. There are two sheets. Yep, I think I can. There are two sheets of die cuts. This speaks to me. I don't have to spend a lot of time coloring because you know I'm not very good at it. And I can just pop these Storybook Friends out, or like look at this little beautifully colored watering can. This is so much fun. Or I would have loved to have done a card for my dad with this wheelbarrow on it. He would sometimes push the grandchildren around in a wheelbarrow. And beautiful flowers. Like there is so much here. That's what's included also. You get these die cut sheets. This is a really, really nice suite. And what I'm talking about when they say they give you more tips. So on these 2 pages is everything that comes with it. There's a beautiful ribbon right here, soft. And then I think one of my new favorite embellishments, because they're going to go with everything. They're called antique pearls, and they're just a really soft white. But then when you turn the page here, they give you some ideas. They let you know that the die cuts will also cut out the creatures in the paper. They talk about the die cuts here. They show you here that you can stick things into the soil. They give you a couple great card ideas. And they even give you some ideas about coloring. So they're saying, if you're going to invest in this suite, here's some great ways to use it. I want to show you one piece of paper from this suite. And it's right here. I can think of, 3 suites, or at least 2, that have this kind of sheet. And there's a lot to use with this sheet, but sometimes people are like, I'm not sure what to do with that. Here's what I've seen a couple people do. They they go to cut it and then they cut through something that they don't mean to. So let's just take a second and talk about cutting this paper. So you want to find where the line goes all the way through. And what I mean by that is, just looking for a ruler here, this will work. Like if I wanted to cut here, I could not cut all the way across because I'd be cutting this paper in half. So my first cut is going to be right down the center, and I'm not cutting any paper in half. So let's do that. I can't wait to share the birthday one with you. That has amazing things, but it has the same kind of page. So I have this tight against here, and in my cutting line, like in that gutter, I can see that center where I want to make a cut. Now I have a way to cut all of these. I can cut them from the sides, and then once I cut this middle piece out, I can cut those. This one is a little different. I'm going to start by cutting here. And then I'm trying to get to this piece right here. I need to cut that one off. Like I'd seriously like to make a card with every piece I cut off. Today we're just going to make this one, but so much to do. So now, look at this watercolor piece. It would remind me, my mom used to collect like older children's books because she loved the drawings in them, and she'd put them out at different times. Especially my parents owned a bed and breakfast, and she'd set them out for decoration around certain holidays. This drawing would speak to her. Like she'd love to get a card made with this piece. So let me show you an easy way you can do that. This piece measures, I measured it. Yes, it measures 3 by 4. So I'm going to mat that with a piece of one of the colors I took from there by a 1/4 inch. So I took that soft yellow, which is Lemon Lolly. And look, it already has a little more life to it by matting it. So I'm gonna have this piece pop up. Just like that. And then we're gonna take the backings off. Now there's so much more you're gonna see from me with this suite, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about, I love using some of these tag pieces that you may have overlooked. Oops, run away. And then we're going to get this centered. And then another color that stood out for me here was the Lost Lagoon. And I grabbed Pecan Pie. Now, of course, I can just look at the paper pack and it will tell me all the colors that are in there. And when I started designing, I did this, and I love those two together. Look at that. That's a great color combo. And I laid this here, and it felt a little flat, okay? Like, just needs one more thing. And when that happens, that's when I reach for an embossing folder. And it doesn't matter which embossing folder. I just happen to reach for Forever Plaid because I'm using it so much. It's always on my work table. But anything would work. And we're just going to run that through. And I have things all over, guys. On my embossing folders, I put the name and which plates I want to use. So I want to use plates 1 and plates 4. And with the Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss system, you're always going to use plate 1. I love this machine. It's such a workhorse. I'm always using it. And then I'm going to put this and then plate 4. When I put my embossing folder in, when I can, I'm going to have fold first, and I always want the Stampin' Up! Logo facing up. And then plate 4 is the gray one. And that's going on top. You always need a plate on top. It protects your machine, and it protects your embossing folder or die cut that you're using. And then we're just going to run it through. It takes so little time. It wouldn't matter what embossing folder you have. I'm guessing you have a few laying around. There we go. And there's that. And then look what difference that makes. Now you could center it, and we know how I feel about centering. I'm not very good at it. So I'm going to put it to the side. I think that also adds a little more interest. And let's get some glue on that. When I'm adhering something to something that's really embossed, like that's heavily embossed, this multi-purpose glue is my friend. It's going to go in those crevices. Now, my first preference is always our Seal Plus tape runner, but a tape runner sometimes can kind of float on the surface, and it may not adhere as well. And that's going to go right there in the corner. In fact, I think I'm going to bring it a little bit more. So I'm making the point that I really wanted it in the corner. It isn't that I didn't have it centered, or like I meant to do this. There we go. And with the multi-purpose glue, I can move it till I have it where I want it. And we're going to add some more to the back. This glue, this may be the last project for this glue. I'm working really hard to get the glue out. There. And I'm not sure I've used Lost Lagoon and Pecan Pie together, but I will be again. I really like this look. So then let's grab those favorite embellishments of mine. I kind of put these all over. Give me a second to move something here so I can get to the embellishments right here. And as I said, these are called antique pearls. And when I just type up this little strip that fits in the stamp cases, and I include the name and the item number. And in talking about typing them up, I just put them like a bunch in a row and cut them apart. If that's something you would like, I'd be happy to send you my document. Shoot me an email and say, hey, Joni, send me the titles for the embellishment cases. I would be happy to do that. Okay, so these embellishments are going to work on just like everything. They have a bit of a gloss, so they're not gonna like not be noticed, but they're not in your face. One of the things with this folder is I try to find some flat spaces that they're going to fit in, so they're not over like one of those long ones. Okay. I don't have an inside because I haven't decided what it's going to be yet. It might be an Easter card. It might be a baby card. It might just be a note I send my aunt. We'll know when I finish it. But here's what I do know. When I send it off, I'm going to embellish the envelope flap so that it all comes together. Such an easy card to use one of those squares in the Storybook Moments suite. You are going to be seeing a lot more of this suite from me. There is so much I want to do. And actually, I end up doing this card for you because I couldn't decide, like, oh, I could do this or I could do that. And then I just had to stop and make a card. And that's when those kind of shapes that you can cut out come in really, really handy. So, yeah, there's a lot more here that we could cut up and do, and I'm going to do that. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. If you liked what you saw, hey, please share it with your crafty friends. And until next time, take care and keep crafting. It's good for you.